giving feedback to students that are doing theory-based courses. So we teach BTEC quite a lot in our school in Bristol. And one of the major issues that we had was that we were marking the students' work, but sometimes, due to the amount of teaching you've got on, the amount of groups you might have on, you're not necessarily giving them their work back as quickly as it should be given back to them. Because it's on paper, there are times it might get lost and loads of different issues. And I know certainly our students sort of benefit an awful lot by having that feedback instantly. So looked at a few sort of different options, and I tried Evernote, I tried Dropbox as ways of just sort of having that sharing of information back to the students. But Google Docs kind of fitted the bill, and it was kind of a bit of luck really. Google Drive got announced on the iPad. I started playing around with it and started to see, well, actually, there's got a bit of potential here. So what I'm going to do today is just kind of run through how I've set it up, how it works with the students, and just do a bit of a live demonstration really, so that you can see it in action. So this is what my drive looks like. I've set up a BTEC file that's shared with every single member of staff that teaches on the BTEC course. Within that, there's a BTEC feedback file, one for each course and each year group that we look at. And then within that, there's every single student that is in there. They've got their own file. Within their file, they've got all the modules that we're teaching and that we're covering over the course of the year. Really, really handy. That file itself is shared only with the students. All the teachers can see it, but only that one student can see it. So it keeps their feedback private to them. If they want to share it with other people, then obviously that's up to them. But we try to keep it, so that it's not out there for everyone to see. But we do want all the members of staff to see it, because for obvious reasons, if I'm not around at some point, and another member of staff can help a student with anything they need, if they're not sure on a piece of feedback they've been given, then it can be worked on. So just to sort of show that in action, I've tried to put in place 2 screens. So this is what the students would see in terms of feedback form, and this is my version. So on the left-hand side of the screen, you can see what I would see, and on the right-hand screen is what the student would see. So bear with me now, because typing whilst talking is not my strong point. So if I just started to write in what they've achieved in this side, you should be able to see, hopefully in real time, that will start appearing onto their screen so they can see it. And when I talk about instant feedback, it really is instant feedback. Now, at the moment, it's not actually loading up for me. You can see the pink box is where I'm working, but possibly something to do with my internet at the moment going slow. So what I would just do is fill in something on under there. There you go. You can see it just pop up as soon as I stick it into. Obviously, my feedback would be more detailed than this, but just for example, you can see that the student can see straight away, what they've achieved, what they've done well, what they need to improve, and then they've got access to that. Now, yeah, I could write that on a piece of paper and give it to them. From a BTEC point of view, I need to keep hold of that feedback. That's my evidence of my marking. So we did photocopy things and hand them out. Things would get lost. It was time consuming. This way, students, even if they're not in school, I've had students sort of contact me via, we use Edmodo quite a lot, and ask me, what was my feedback. I could just direct them straight to this, remind them that that's where their feedback is. And they can get all of that information straight away. They can do their work in their own time on any computer. We do have issues where students do work in school on Word, and at home they've got a different setup of Word and they can't access it, and it's just time delays. They tell us the next day. This is just instant. They can do it on their mobile devices. They can do it on any computer, mum's computer, dad's computer, their tablets, whatever it might be. They can access this and do something about the work and act upon it, and that in itself is a huge benefit. So that's how the feedback works. The next really, really big thing that we do with them is to give them an up-to-date record of exactly what they've achieved. So this screen over on the left-hand side now, if I see the other side, so if I just make this bigger. This screen, it basically just shows them exactly what they've achieved. And this is automatically set up. All I have to do is put a 0 in the box just to highlight that they've handed a piece of work in. And then a tick or backslash to indicate that they've achieved the grade. So really, really useful. Useful for me as a teacher to keep track of who's done what, who hasn't done what, but also really, really useful for the students because just at a glance they can see what they've got missing. You know, if there's a lot of red on their screen and they haven't handed anything in, if there's a lot of yellow on there, then it's either not been marked from myself or their teacher, or it hasn't quite made the grade, so they know to go and have a look at their feedback and see what it is they need to improve on it. Really, really handy visual presentation of what they have and haven't done. That's then highlighted slightly further by the overall tracking sheet, again in the same way using colours to determine what they've done, what they haven't done, and just a simple scoring system where it just adds up and gives me a total. So for instance, this student here, if he got a distinction in this, it's worth a 7. It adds up the points automatically, gives them a distinction for that level. Okay, so that's just for the certificate. This would be the extended certificate, and this would be the diploma. Now BTEC's changing now, so it's all changed anyway, but for the current program what we're doing, that's how it works out. And that's it really. That's the BTEC feedback using Google Docs in a nutshell really. In terms of getting it set up with the students, it's just a case of the students having access to Google Docs. With my students, we've just got them setting up their own Google Drive account. They use it just for their contact with me through doing their BTEC course. Google Docs was just useful just because we use all the other apps as well. So we get them doing blogs via it. They've got their own YouTube channels for storing video evidence, and you know, I can talk about that forever. But just for feedback and tracking of their work, this works really good. So that's it from me. Just an overview. If you've got any questions about that, please get in contact with me on Twitter. I have got some written documentation about how this is set up on my blog, so mat6453.wordpress.com. But thanks for listening.